What's up, guys? We're back. We're going to be a little better with filming now because, I realize I put videos out once a month or so, which I like to do better. It's summertime in California, so we got to have some fun. Today's going to be a bit of a side quest day, which means we're going to do a bunch of this video, and we'll see how it goes. Most importantly, though, I got my boy Eric with me today, and we're going to be cranking on getting our custom seat brackets installed, get our race seats in to get ready for a Laguna or maybe a Thunderhill day coming up very soon. We'll see how it goes. But like every side quest day, you gotta start with a star.
Next thing, it's time for a new phase. Oh yeah.
All right, the side quest. Getting our little bit because we gotta drill holes because I didn't tap it right, so whatever. And then of course Eric made me buy this. I gotta fix my barbecue. Whatever. All right, continuing on with the side quest day. We're cruising over to M26 because he's the one doing the mod on my cage, so I can get my harnesses applied in there. But also, he just has some really cool stuff. So, let's go take a look. Let's pump up the boy Matt, and we'll see what he got. Alright, so we'll bug Matt, the man himself, see what he's got going on. What you up to, man? Also, thanks for doing my cage.
You're welcome.
I appreciate you doing my short-term stuff because I want to go to the racetrack.
Yeah, you're welcome.
So, I think he's got, a trailing arm for a Raptor?
Yeah, we're just doing some quick assembly. Putting these inlays on this arm. So we're going to Loctite some of these bolts in there and then get this one tailored for the customer. He wanted some clear anodized arms and some gold accents, so that's what that is. So we make these guys right here.
So not only was this guy into building some pretty insane Gen 1 through 3 Raptor parts, which I would highly suggest checking out the M26 website because it's seriously insane. But he's also a JDM head, and he's got a 180 SX, well 240 because stateside people things. But he's got a sick 240. I'll go take a quick look at. I'll throw some B-roll, and then we're gonna of course look at his Raptor. That's just out of this world, but probably the best Starbucks run I've ever been in my entire life. Alright, so what we got going on, building a new harness bar because what happened was I didn't want wrapped harnesses. I wanted to do the D-clip style, and then Matt's nice enough to have a really nice machine shop, builds very nice hardware, and also knows how to do bent tubing. Something I'm not very good at, but what we're going to do is move to an FIA style spec where the bar is like 22 inches behind my shoulder, which allows for the harness crossover and helps with geometry to keep you in your seat if you are in an accident, which, let's hope not. But cage is in progress. I think the bar's out at fab right now. And then I get to learn how to weld, but probably not my cage. So hopefully it's Matt or Evan doing it. We'll see how it goes.
Holding.
All right. So Blake's red. So next thing is I gotta put new links on the car. What happened was I was at my first track day. I didn't film it, but I'll throw a little clip in like. And what had happened was I bumped a curb on the inside and turned like 4 or 5 at Laguna, and I ended up cracking out all of the threading inside of my original end links, which I was talking about before. So I decided I want to change it up to make it a little more manufacturing friendly, and while it still works fast on the car for adjustment. So what we came up with was a more standard style turnbuckle. Of course, I have everything flying off. So what it does is it's just simple. Instead of the center adjust, now it's on both sides, and it's a simple cut. Fits all the standard wrenches. And so if I need to adjust my car on track now, it's just a heck of a lot easier because I don't have 6,000 things. But the one cool thing we did do was, since not aluminum anymore, these are steel ones, I decided to go crazy and just powder coat these things. You're never going to see them, but they still need to be protected. So I went with space dust, so you get this ridiculous glitter effect, because why not? Like, who cares? So we'll pop them back on the car, and now I'll have a front sway bar again, because I've had no front sway bar for a while. I've been driving around, and it's still stiff. But, you know, we're not that type of people. So we'll pop it back on the car, and then we'll get into my favorite part. Finally get to put my driver's O&P race seat in. And I made some custom brackets for it, which will be available here pretty soon. The prototype brackets you'll see in a minute, and I have been driving with those. Ooh, man. They're sick. So I'll crack these out, and we'll see you in just about 2 minutes. Got it. All right, torque to spec, obviously. And the lower one, we'll crank this out and make sure I put everything on in the correct order at the second stiffness location, because we're not running full stiff, because I don't think the car needs that yet. And I'll also adjust the bar so it's, you want it to be neutral when you have the car sitting up, at least flat. If you put a load on it now, then you get a weird pre-torque on your sway bar, and that's no bueno. It'll start doing weird geometry things on you, and just don't make a rookie maneuver like that. So crank them down, call it, and I'll be out of here if I can find my wrenches. All right, here's the thing. We got the stock seats out of the car. They're just not very good for riding on track. Even my first time, I was sliding all around, and yeah, it comes with some pretty good seats. And yeah, if you want to do a couple track days, great. We're not doing that with this car. We're actually going to go throw down lap times. And the problem I had was I was finding myself bracing up against the armrest and then on the center console and on the door to hold myself from sliding back and forth. And that takes away from driving. All right, so there's like a couple different ways you can put race seats or buckets in your car. One way that everybody does, you go and you buy a planted base. You know, it's this stamped or laser cut steel piece. They plop right in, and that's backwards, but you know, they plop right in, and they do a job. They do a very good job, and they're super inexpensive. However, they're not going to get you to where you want to go for racing. So what you do is you pick up something from only a few places making for BMers, and for what I wanted, I decided I was going to make my own. You know, I wanted to go a little bit more pizzazz, because I'd like going a little bit overboard. But also, I wanted modularity built into my seat bases. So we sat down and we designed our own seat brackets. This is one side, there's a second side. They're made from billet aluminum, custom machined to be modular. The reason why you want modularity is some people run different setups in their car for their harnesses. Some run 4, some run 6-point harnesses. Sometimes you don't want to run a sub strap. Sometimes you do. Sometimes you have different people in the car. Adjustability is really the name of the game. And you also want to ride real low, which is nice, especially for tall people. Not so much my problem, but it is nice having the seat a little lower. It helps you kind of figure out what you're doing, and you feel more connected with what the car's doing, at least in my experience. So we built these. We'll get them installed. They're actually super easy to install. They will be available hopefully in about a month or so. I'm going to do a little bit more testing on the track, see how they go, and then I'm going to build V2, which will be the production version. I'll pop these in. You'll see how easy they are and see how nice it goes together, and then we'll show you the badass seat that we bought for this car. In order to actually put these in. But anyways, for purposes of, you know, test fit, whatnot, we built this bracket, which is the new substrap bracket. So basically your eye bolts, instead of being on the outside, are here, so then that'll pull up for your substrap. Those bolt right in. I am only gonna bolt these in just for test fit purposes anyway, so we're just gonna temporarily put it down. Drop the seat in here in just a second. You kind of see how this whole thing kind of comes together. So it should be pretty sick. I'm excited. I know you can buy the Harbor Freight one. I know you can buy the Harbor Freight one. But that's almost going nowhere. We need 2 more bolts put in to really make sure that goes nowhere. But you know, let's take a little crack and see how much cooler this car feels. Because automatic race car points. Let's see what we're working with. How am I gonna? Oh yeah. Graceful as can be. Holy, woohoo! Look at that. Okay. Yeah, I could get used to this. This is cool. There we go. Now all we need is the cage. I can throw the top harness in. Get the bolt so I can throw the substrap in. And we're good to go, man. Sick.
Hell yeah.
All right, side quest day is now done, at least for now. We're going to wait a couple days until we get the cage, and then we'll pick back up on the rest of the build. But brakes are bled, seat is temporarily installed, and check for fitment. A couple little adjustments I want to do. I did a couple of little checks around the car just to make sure everything's ready. Vacuumed it because, you know, got to do it. And we'll bug Matt, see if we can get the cage back in here, and we'll pick back up. Until then, I will see you next time. Appreciate you.